So, well, I guess we'll just start then.
Okay.
So call to order. And what we just got
We're
done.
just missing John right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm half here.
So we did roll call, right? Do you want to go around? I guess we can go around.
Yeah, go around. Start with you.
Oh, Linda Tone.
Gary
And you're-
Redensel.
Maureen Paulus.
Ed Delgado.
Jerry Hecker, Sandy Anderson,
Lori Hernandez.
Amy Pulaski.
All right. A little bit more. Linda's president. John, we were going to nominate him for vice president if he gets in here. Or he's already been nominated, but vote him in. Sandy and Tammy have been on the board for a very long time. Gary is our municipal representative, so he's on the village board. Maureen is a retired librarian. She set up the library at the prison. And then you have the Friends of the Library president and officer, sort of an officer, but she's helped tremendously over the years. And I've been here about 5 years and a couple months. Okay?
Okay, so approval of the agenda.
Okay, yep.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. So approval of the minutes.
You only have April 16th. We're still trying to get the files off that one computer that died 2 months ago.
So February 19th?
April 16th.
Oh. Oh, okay, April 16th.
There wasn't much there because we had a very fast meeting and
Yep. I move that we approve the minutes of April 16th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. So correspondence.
do you want to talk about yours first?
Mine?
That you got from Becky and how to proceed?
Oh, yeah, we did, I did get an email responding to this, our open records request. It was May 15th, I got an email from Becky that she did get it, and she was saying that, she didn't say exactly how much it was gonna cost, but it was going to cost more than $50 to do all that we asked for on this sheet. So Maureen and I talked to her about it, and I did email a few of you, and Jean, we just, for now, until we saw the meeting, have the meeting today, we just did the budget. We wanted to open records for the budget. And
I
then
think
there's
we
been
should-
discussion to do the rest of it.
As written, as you submitted. And my opinion is, whatever it costs, I'll donate the money.
Because she was quoting how much it would cost. I thought it was more than, I don't know, the salary.
It'll be more than $50 and it was
Well, that's
19
not-
something an hour.
Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't so much that, but it was like this, research charge that she had on there for $97 an hour.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
$97 an hour?
Wasn't it
Well, it was a lot, but can you bring that, I can't,
Yeah.
I can't bring it up on I don't have it on my phone, I have it on my computer at home, but can you bring it up on
Yeah.
your,
Yeah.
Mary? That,
I don't have my phone
I
yet.
can
but
search.
it was
Yeah,
something, that's
yeah.
why,
yeah, we were questioning
yeah,
the research fee.
the research,
Who researched it? Becky, the board?
Yeah, no,
Now,
At $97 an hour?
I don't know how much it was.
It was,
exactly,
it was
but
it was a sum.
it was so much per her wage, I thought it was,
Annual permits, time sheet.
but I know, Maureen, you read it and you said just to wait till we had our meeting.
Well, I was concerned about that research fee,
Yeah,
and then, if she has to do research to find out about the wages, I mean, I wouldn't think that there would be a lot of research involved with the budget, because that was just a few months ago.
right,
So there,
so we
I
had
I
that,
have it on the stack.
and I haven't gotten an email back that that's done yet. And she emailed me, I told her to go ahead with the budget. and then email me when it's done, so I can pick it up.
Right, and I have to look and see what the time frame is for responding to an open
Because
record.
that's been since,
Since April 16th.
yeah,
So,
May 15th.
well, that's when she responded.
Yeah, but I don't,
You sent the letter on April 6th.
yeah, but I
letter.
didn't get, they didn't respond till May 15th.
Right,
Because I looked it up before I left, it was May 15th when I got the email.
right.
So I don't know how long it's,
I don't
I
even.
don't know when Jim would have opened it, it would have been addressed just to Jim.
1957 per hour.
Okay,
That's what I understood, with a 50-cent per paper copy, which is, it'll add up, you know, but I don't
Yeah.
think it'll be over $100 or $200.
Well, it's
No,
on,
it's, it was also an open records request done by a citizen here in town. And he just wanted a couple sheets of information and the bill for that was well over $100.
How come
Really?
it was so high?
It's just that,
Because even when I get an open records request, it's not that
yeah,
high,
I don't,
especially since
I
it's
can't tell you
digitized.
what their research system is over there, I don't know.
Well, I can ask other libraries in their communities at what, you know, when they do the requests, what the average costs are.
Trying to be able to look it up and see what the normal cost per
Yeah, because
hour
that
is.
seems a little
I mean,
excessive.
all you gotta do is Google that.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Can they give you an estimate?
well, I
Well,
worked,
that is the estimate, I
That
guess.
is, yes,
that
yeah.
is the,
50 cents per minute. About $20.
1957 per hour.
That's probably the wage for, I would imagine, Krista.
Yeah, that, I was told that Krista would be the one doing the research, so yeah, that's her.
So that's her
That's her wage.
Mhm.
But I mean, all this stuff is electronic, right? It's not like they're going through paper.
Page by page.
Well, mine is, and it's, but it would take me probably 2 hours to get everything together. I don't know how long it would take them, but I'm pretty good at research, so.
well, I mean, we can go, I did say the budget,
Mhm.
and I haven't
Well,
got
here's the
anything.
thing, when we go through our worksheets, they, the where we're cut is in salary. They do not want a full-time director. So that's where we've gone up in our salary. That's where you guys have already put in close to $30,000 of your savings to convince the community over the last 5 years that they need more service. And our numbers have shown. You can look at your circulation statistics and we're up 64%. I mean, when I look at our hourly, you know, the people coming in the door per hour, who do we turn away? What justifies us being open? And one comment that I kind of keep bringing up is the book sale is doing really well. We get people coming from all over, Oshkosh coming here, and this is a stopping destination. Maybe they're not hanging out in the park, but they're coming here for the book sale and they're coming here for the library. If we reduce our hours, we reduce how much money the book sale makes. So just in 2 days, I made $53. I gave Luann $53 today. Yesterday, how much did I give you? 42. And you can report how much the friends are making in book sales, but it's up there. And that's honey, you know, it's not just book sales because we have that impulse counter with honey, cards. All of that generates revenue for the library. So, you cut those hours, you're cutting the revenue. And then,
It's not only money,
yeah,
it's goodwill
it is.
and the
Here's,
fact that there's something here in Red Granite to show up. They
correct.
may stop and have a hamburger, they may stop and have so we're creating
And we're a walking
money
community.
for other people
Correct.
also.
We're a walking community. I can't tell you how many people come over from Lawrence because their car is getting worked on or whatever. Not only that, but we support the home businesses. There's been an increase in homeschooling. So people are pulling their kids out of schooling, and where do they go? To the library. So our increases are showing up there. My wage isn't excessive. The other thing is you close the doors, you're still paying for your phone bill. You're still paying for services that we pay for every month that no one will be there to answer the phone. Now we get 5-day-a-week deliveries. Years ago, we didn't have that, but since COVID, we get 5-day-a-week deliveries. So that if we reduce our hours, that work is just built up. No one does it. It waits until somebody gets there. So one red box, when I get a delivery, is about 2 hours worth of work from beginning to end. I get about 3 boxes a day. So sometimes, like today, I didn't even get my chores done. So.
Well, yeah, you were probably backed out from Monday, but then people are waiting for their books.
Well, I know, there's a lot of people that order.
So
Yeah,
all I'm saying is, the numbers are showing when I have 10 people coming in an hour and they're 3 people deep and I'm only one here running the desk, I'm telling you, we are busy. I don't know how much more. I don't think I need to convince you guys. You've seen it. You've been here. I've had volunteers trying to work the desk, and it's amazing. I'll let them say their words and their experience. But I don't know. And our neighboring libraries are open. The only ones that aren't is Poisippi, retired teacher, Neshkoro, retired teacher. They don't want to work more hours. But if they were, their CERC would go up. Pine River just expanded their hours, and their
and the
CERC
people
is
from
going up.
Poisippi go to Pine River.
Correct.
Because Poisippi's not open, so then they go over to Pine River.
And that's what I get. I get a lot of Neshkoro, a lot of. So, anyway, so the thing is does the village believe going forward after this budget cut, because they say, they said our staff wages are the same. And I'll show you an example that we're not off the mark from where we were last year. It's almost spot on. The library runs a very tight ship. We don't even have money in our budget to buy toilet paper. I get donations of toilet paper. We can go through the budget about how many people donate just to keep the operations going here. So every cut is severe. So I know it's only 11,000 in the village eyes compared this year, compared to the millions they have to deal with. But our ask was 60. We are the lowest department ask in all of the departments, and we got cut that much. And again, we're cleaning our own toilets. We don't have a cleaning crew, but I see other departments do. And I've been working full-time, no benefits, and no pay increase. When all of my coworkers in the village have gotten a pay increase, and they have benefits. So that cut sets us back because we were just getting to the point where we could afford benefits. So no one's replaceable. This is for the next generation. Who is going to work here for, with no benefits? How are we going to get somebody else in here? We went through so many different directors before I put my foot down and said we're going to make this a good place. Anyway, so that's my thing on the records request, because I've seen, since most of these people have been elected, I've been at all of their meetings, I've seen every department get a full-time person. And when the library went to that, and you paid first, they just took it out of the budget. But we took it out of our savings. We still have not convinced them. So we had one trustee on here last year that did something. I don't know how the budget got cut like it did, and how we didn't even know about it until January. So I don't know how we're going to fix that. We're going through the same process. We're starting our budget work already right now. Nothing has changed. There's no surprises. We're going to get 2% more from the county. Ed will know about this soon. We're not going to get more than that. We're going to get 2%, and that's probably what we'll get every year. Our CERC increase is coming from the village. So the village is getting the increase. The county is too, but significantly, when we look at our breakdowns, it's the village that's using the library the most. So, I think we need to ask for all the records, just because they're trying to tell us you don't need a full-time position here. And you don't need to hire anybody, and you should reduce your hours.
Well, let's wait and see what we get with the budget stuff, go through it, and then further our request.
Okay.
I think that's what we should do.
So leave it
For now,
for now, because that's
yeah.
what I did tell
And
her.
just
Yeah.
see what that price is.
Right, and see what's in the budget, you know, what we get regarding the budget, and see,
Yeah.
and then go from there.
Well, we already see an assistant clerk is getting close to $20 an hour, and she just became full-time under Jim Erdman's watch, right? So she was Mary's position part-time, and she just came to a full-time position 2 years ago. So, and that's not too much off mine. She had no clerical experience, and I have 30 years of library experience, so. Anyway, so I don't think the dollar amount's crazy either. But I would like to see what the parks people get paid.
So do we need a motion?
No, that was correspondence.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
She
just have to
already did it.
respond.
Right, so I responded already on May 5th, when you,
Yeah,
I
with May
emailed you.
15th, we'll
We
just,
did just the
See what you
budget
get
for
and how
now,
long
we
it
want
takes.
that.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did respond?
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
For the budget.
yeah, that we still wanted all the
I figured for
budget
sure we
stuff.
want the
Okay.
budget, but I was waiting for about the extra, for,
Okay.
you know, right?
But
Yeah.
we'll go through all the budget stuff first, and
But-
then we'll make a determination.
Right, but this is
Okay.
kind of an example of a staff person that went from part-time to full-time. And this is after I'd already been working full-time, no benefits. So. Anyway, so there's that. Correspondence also, the Washar County, or the Washar Argus. People saw that article about the
Yeah,
high school.
with the high school, that was
Yeah.
really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they were.
that article and the photograph and
They
stuff.
were
that
so
was-
I was
excited to
surprised
see
it
us.
was on the front page.
I know,
That was nice.
it was really
Wow.
nice.
They
I've
were
been
really
getting-
happy, those kids.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a good presentation. John was there, Linda was there, Danny
Yeah,
was there. They really presented it well. They put a real well-constructive game plan together, and I was just nice to see how it all worked. And then hearing their stories about how they use the libraries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they worked hard at that.
Mhm.
Right.
And I even said, well, don't you just all Google, you don't need a library, and they laughed at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's wrong, they said, that's further from that is so wrong statement.
Well, you can get
And
caught
those are from high
doing
school
that
kids.
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that do
AI
Google
catches
it.
it. Teachers
live on
use
their
AI to catch students.
Yeah, they disagreed with that statement.
We also had some letters of library support. I know copies have gone to the village, but when I hear their correspondence, I don't hear any of those letters being recorded or anything, so I don't know what to do about that.
Are you keeping a file though of the
Yeah.
letters? Okay.
And then, basically, not letters of support, but we've gotten correspondence. Let me show you a little, just in the last month. Let me get- Sorry. Donations just in the last month. So we've had quite a bit. Barracks had a cash jar donation. We just deposited that on the 14th. That was $665. These are some of the checks that are coming in. Rick's Irish Pub gave us $500 for our, a lot of these businesses I help and do stuff with. So they're putting, donation jars out there. Some of these people are just individual people that come in. So that's just in this last month. There's a lot of people supporting us. Now, how we stay relevant in the news, I don't know, to keep the funds coming in. I know Good Times has a donation jar. Our plan, I guess, going forward is every single kind of event that's out there, any fundraiser, We're just gonna go out there with our brochures and our jar and talk about the library and try and get, more
Well,
support.
any event, you can ask Haley to come to events
Yeah.
too. Or at least,
I
take
do.
pictures and send
Yeah.
them to her
Yeah.
because
We've been doing that.
I think that's, the pictures of the different events that she puts in the paper, I think that those are really positive too.
Right. So some of the cash money that I will get that ready and I'll send it out to you probably on Saturday. I'm just kind of behind. But when we did our hat program, we got $95 from that. The Friends will also report, we got donations of $76 of honey that went out. And she gave us back $25 or $26 or whatever it is, and that goes to the Friends. So, that's just kind of their donation thing for us.
Again, it's a common, everyday person that is stepping forward
Yeah,
and leading the way.
yeah, it's sometimes when I make a copy and you're gonna see that report, I'm just really behind. But for example, today, I made 30 copies and then she gave me a $5 bill, $2 donation. So it's sometimes 50 cents at a time or whatever. But cash, she's got somewhere around, I don't know, quite a bit. So a lot of that's from our faxing
Yeah, I think
service.
there's like 18, almost $1,900.
Yeah, so $671 of that is cash.
So, I mean, it all adds up.
So that was good. That was kind of basically our correspondence for right now, unless there was anything else anyone else had. All right. You're ready to go to 6, I think.
6,
Yeah.
financial report?
Yeah.
Good day.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about the donations. I jumped ahead, but if you flip through your binders a little bit, I sent you the ledger. I got that yesterday. So it's you going forward. Here's everything, all of our vouchers that we've written to date. So you guys will approve the last part, but I like to show especially new people everything that's been there. This is the village ledger. We can talk a little bit about that. This is what they've appropriated us in certain areas. So we're gonna run out. These are our accounts. This is a savings account. And this is our small checking, and that's what we've been putting money into. We have some of that set aside for earmarked funds, and there'll be a report on that. So like $5,000 is for Lucille Clark Market, things like that. You also see there, it's kind of a visual. So there, that's your financial today.
Okay, and you want this to go into our small check?
I would imagine you're gonna have to use that to pay bills.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. All right.
So normally, going forward, when we do money campaigns, this was for our vision 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, we would hopefully be in a new building. So these fundraising campaigns and the money that we've set aside has been decades of saving money for that reason. And the reason is, look at where you are. There's just not a lot of space for any kind of programming. So we have to turn people away right now because we don't have room in here. Also, we're running out of space on our shelves. And these are brand new shelves that we just had. They're not even a year and a half old, maybe. But we had old wooden shelves in here. And you'll see a PowerPoint thing about that transition. They were all bowing and falling apart, so we got these shelves for free from another library. We just had to haul them, store them, and put them together. So that bought us a little bit of time. But where we were at before, you couldn't even put another book on the shelf. You had to take something out. And when you look at our shelves, you got to realize that 30% of our collection is in circulation. People have things checked out, or they're lent to other libraries. So our holdings are never, our complete holdings are never on the shelf. So it's constant shifting and making room. Anything else? Any questions on that? Nope. So as we're not gonna approve the vouchers just yet, but I also have a thing for you outside. This is our budget stuff. This is the same worksheet we've been using for a couple years now. The breakdowns of the staff salaries are nothing new. It's just that last beige column, that's where we're looking at for figures for 2027. Assuming we get restored funding. When you look at the 2025 actual, that's kind of where I've put in what we've spent so far in the figures that I've had. And that should reflect in your, right here, this is a breakdown of all the vouchers per department, what's broken down. It's in that sheet right there. So our walls fees, which is that big $8,600 one, that's typically goes up 1% every year, 1 to 2%. And that's, what is that? They're gonna come in June and talk all about walls. But walls is our website. Walls is our ILS, our library system. The whole computer infrastructure that keeps track of all things checked in and out from all member libraries. So we pay for ours, we pay the lowest walls fee, just like other libraries our size. It's based on how many books you have in your collection and how many circulations you do. So when you look at walls fees next month, you'll see someone like Oshkosh is paying somewhere like $30,000. So $8,600 is the lowest. They do the lowest for a whole bunch of us libraries. So that's what that is. So, nothing is going to change, maybe electricity. You can see that we've already kind of spent our money, a lot of it. Wages is always the big thing. I've hardly spent any books, money on books, but there is a $500 Winnifox grant that I'll get $500 worth of books for month.
Okay, you should spend that.
Yeah, I'm gonna start next month.
Okay.
Yeah. It just became, I knew it was coming, but it just became official. So, I'd like to open up or entertain some discussion on this budget. We're at the halfway point of the year. What I sent out to you is eventually, pay salaries or pay whatever. We're gonna dip into our small checking to get through this year, but really, it depends on, do we convince the village board the use of this library and the need of this community for it under having, restored funding, or do you reduce?
Well, I think we have to ask to have our funding restored. I don't think we can just,
Well, that's been our whole campaign, but I'm not, when Clarelyn was here last time, she didn't, and met with Jim, she just told me she didn't feel confident with Matt and Becky and them in that meeting that our budget would get restored. And I'm hearing from coworkers, the chief of police, we don't need a library.
well, it's not up to the chief of police.
I know, but that's what my coworkers feel about it, so.
I mean, I would think like that the library would be positive for the chief of police because it would
Well, it
keep
brings
people out
in
of
revenue
trouble.
to you. When a community is lucky to have a library, it brings in revenue to your population. And it brings in education. And, there's gonna be a lot of transference of jobs coming up, and there's gonna have to be a way that people can navigate that. And I'm getting people daily that are lost. Benny Passarelli was just in here today, and you would think, hey, she knows a little bit, but I had to help her get Libby on her computer, right? So there's that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. We've got the campaign out there. We know the people want it. How much do you guys feel it is that we have, what do we have to do to convince the village trustees? Or do we just let them decide for us? What do I do next? Because I don't think I can keep maintaining this.
I don't think it's up to you.
No.
I
Well,
think it's up to them,
well, it's up to you guys.
us, and,
Yes.
but they should be standing up with some backbone.
I don't understand, I guess, why, there's still always the why. There's not a lot that offers in this village. If we lose the library, then what do we got?
Well, they're not saying lose the library, they just
You say
think it
cut
should.
the hours, but
Yeah,
still,
that's right. They're
it's
not,
still, you're still
what I'm
downsizing
hearing,
and downsizing.
yeah,
There's gonna be a point where, what?
it's
how far
not,
we gotta go?
yeah. Well, here's the thing. What is the conversation that needs to have where they do support it, and why aren't they supporting it like the other departments?
Yeah.
Why are they not giving it the value? So I don't know how. I mean, I obviously need to do a better job. I did a terrible job because we got cut.
No, it's
You
not
know what I mean?
It is,
But-
it's not you,
But
no.
it happened because people voted for it. So
Yeah.
we
no.
had 3 people vote for it, or maybe 4, I don't know. We don't know who
Out
voted.
of how many? I mean, were
There's
there people that
6.
didn't vote for it?
I don't know. No, yeah, I know Mark Jocelyn didn't because he was shocked when he found out. And he was very upset. And if you want to, this is a name we're not supposed to spread around, but look at that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
That's his parents, who use this library a lot. So. I don't know. Our numbers are there. Is there a certain number that, we get per hour? Because it's random. Sometimes I'll have 6 people from 5 to 6, sometimes I have 1. Lately, I've been getting more people 9 to 10. I was not getting anybody 4 to 6 on Friday. That's why we kind of, adjusted those hours. But we made up for it from 9 to 10, and we're getting the people 9 to 10. So, and I like the 9 to 10. I mean, it's a long day because it's 9 to 6, and I don't really have a lunch hour. I just eat behind the desk when nobody's around. But I'm seeing more people at night from 9 to 10, and that's the people that really need some work. They need to get to an appointment, or they need, faxing. So it's not necessarily checking in and out. It's thank God you're open. I need this now. I'm also getting at least twice a week asked if I'm a notary, and I know I've brought this up before, and because of budget cuts, we couldn't afford that. But I just had a homebound person that we do home delivery, and he's like, are you a notary? And I said, I am not, just the village clerk is, and I'm not sure the village clerk would do a home thing for a notary. But I am getting notary requests quite a bit still.
And what's it take to become a notary?
You have to take it, go ahead, you have to take a test with the state, and then you have to pay a fee, and every year you have to renew it.
Renewing
But
isn't
it's
that
not a
much.
fee every year.
Right.
No.
You just pay a one-time.
One-time fee.
Yeah,
So-
it's about, with the test and the class and stuff, it's around $350
Because you
to,
have to buy the stamp.
you got, when you do all that, it's somewhere around in there. But it is a service that people are asking for a lot.
Well, yeah, because the bank used to do it.
Right, that's what
You
I'm
could go in the
saying.
bank and they would do it for you, but we don't have
Exactly.
a bank anymore.
So it means somebody has to drive 20 miles, 10 miles to Watoma or wherever to go and back. And, we are open different hours than the village. We're open until 6. We're open on Saturdays. Most of the time that call comes in on a Saturday, so. Anyway, so there's that. Anyway, do you guys wanna approve the vouchers 43 to 51? I know you have, vouchers all the way, cause I just turned in payroll. So you don't have to approve all of them that you see. I've turned them in, but you can do what the agenda says.
43 to 51.
Mainly payroll is what you're gonna see, and utility bills.
I make a motion to pay vouchers 43 to 51.
Okay.
Okay, I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Alright,
Well, officer elections.
the only one up is, vice president so far.
And I've asked John this, so I do nominate John for vice president. He's been working really hard behind the scenes and doing a lot of extra for the library.
Is this something that you wanna do, John?
I'll take that, but I will not ever move up to president, you know.
Alright,
No discussion.
Being there's only one person running for vice president, I make a motion that, nominations be closed and a unanimous ballot be cast for John Kroll for vice president.
Second.
okay.
Second, so I got second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Oh, thank you.
Motion carried.
Alright, Gary. Director's report should be in your book somewhere. It's after your financials. Nope. One before?
And we'll have to figure out do the banking too,
Yeah.
right? Minutes?
Well, you can have just two people sign, just
Oh, we
you
don't
and
have to change anything?
yeah, you and the treasurer.
Yeah, okay, thank God.
Yeah, it just saves paperwork
while.
and stuff.
It's
You have
no idea. It's just like, I don't know.
Maureen went through a process.
Yeah.
She really did.
I thought it'd be just like going to
really,
the
yeah,
bank
you
here.
said it was
know?
gonna be easy.
It was just like, no,
Well,
totally different.
but we totally put you in the hot water because we said, hey, let's open some CD accounts and hey, let's do this.
Well, but then the second time, it worked out fine.
Yeah.
It was just the
Yeah.
initial stuff
Yeah.
that was difficult.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's a lot better there. It's better.
All right, so basically, so you already know earmark funds, a little bit of it, and upcoming vouchers. James is gonna work some summer hours because he's back from school. He won't be here, I believe, in January, as I understood him, but I'll confirm that. I have a meeting next Thursday that he will cover for me because during budget cuts, we just had volunteers come in, and then I just kind of had to make up all the work later. They wrote things down, and I had to do the work later. But they were there to cover the desk. With him here, he can do a lot of the circulation transactions and all that stuff, so it's not waiting for me when I get back. So I'm really going to look forward to that. I'm going to try and take some vacation time. I've lost vacation hours every year. January, I was scheduled to take some time off, and then that's when we learned about our budget cuts. So even though James was here, I was scrambling just to figure out what to do. So I didn't take any time off, and I lost all that time. So I'm going to try and take some in June, meeting permitting. So I kind of mentioned a lot of people are coming in 9 to 10. We did the soft opening, We began it the end of March. We did it all the way through April, and we've done it through May. It is making a difference. There's a lot of people coming. I'm also seeing the snowbirds in town, so I'm seeing the transition of the locals who are gardening and staying in a little bit more and not reading as much, and the snowbirds who are coming in and checking out like crazy. They really appreciate the earlier hour, so it works for us. And I'm here anyway because our deliveries come from 9:10 to 9:30. So
And I don't know if I said anything, did you go to the Pearl Lake meeting?
yes.
Did you bring up that the library is desperate?
I have talked to several of the people out there.
But you didn't bring it up at the meeting?
No, they had kind of a
Okay.
full agenda.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We've
there's
sent-
a lot of people that are aware of the circumstances in the library.
Yeah. So friends of the library, do you want to talk a little bit about what you guys have been doing and?
Well, we've had we have the spring fling, which
Weather.
weather kind of put a damper on it, but I think we made good money considering that with the baskets, the muffins for moms, and the spaghetti dinner. I don't know why people couldn't see where the spaghetti dinner was because there was plenty of signs that showed, here's the spaghetti dinner. We tell them. I think that Jeannie and everybody did a great job of advertising it, but I'm not sure what the issue was.
Yeah.
I do think it was successful. Our total funds were over $2,000.
Yeah.
So
Profit. Yeah.
I think that was great. We also had, which is kind of a quiet fundraiser, is the wristbands. So I did a total of what we've made in the wristbands since we've started selling them in February. And those are the $5 wristbands that Brett Leanna made and ordered. So we've made $365 on those thus far.
He came in today and he's gonna do one more swoop and at the end of this week or next week, and he'll come in with those results. Yeah.
And then, of course, our book sales, I mean, an $800 a month in book sales has been, and now with the people from the, with the summer people coming and the more traffic through town, I mean, we're gonna have to seriously think about what we're gonna do with that money, because our account's getting.
Well, talk about what you did with the youth program, the youth initiative program.
Because of the funding cut, we had enough money that we gave, it's YEP,
Yep, youth initiative program.
Youth Initiative, to our two volunteers, Caden and Emmy, and we are still waiting for,
James, I have it.
James.
I have it. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm 2 weeks behind.
yeah,
I'll get that. But you gave them how much?
we gave them $400 each. So,
And then the babysitting class
the babysitting class, we also sponsored 2 people.
in the community.
In the community, but that was
16?
very well attended, which again, we had a problem getting them all in here.
16.
16 people.
Plus,
16.
not only that, the students, we had to do, instead of audience setup, we had to have all the tables, so we used all of our tables when we were short, because they had mannequins, so they not only had, human half mannequins, but the babies.
Oh, for
And,
like choking
yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah, so,
Okay.
but they all got certified at the end of the day, and 2 local students got, their fees paid for by the Friends of the Library. It was a $47, close to $50. And I was afraid people wouldn't sign up for it, so I approached the Friends. They, of course, said, hey, we're on board with this. Fox Valley Tech loved what they did and this youth initiative program that the library and the Friends of the Library have been pushing, because we're really trying to push youth not only to get their first jobs and work experience, but to empower them. And again, the youth that have worked here, they've all been going off to college. So That's something. Anyway, more on the front?
Oh, that's pretty much it. We have more things coming up this summer.
Yeah. So that's great. Okay. John, do you want to talk a little bit? I'll talk a little bit about the ADA. The ADA website was supposed to be completed for a community our size in 2027. They bumped that a year out. So all the scrambling that I thought I would have to do, I got a little bit of a breather. But basically what that means, and it means for municipalities, county, everyone, they have to become ADA compliant. So Ed, you'll probably be hearing about it from your tech people over there. For us, and even when we post something on social media. So if you have a picture, you're going to have to be able to have that be readable by a text reader on a computer or device. So a lot of websites don't have that, especially when you put out like a flyer. So that's kind of the movement that's going forward with that.
Quick question on
Yeah.
that. With the rapid use of AI at this particular point, it basically reads everything.
Yeah, this
Um,
great. I want to talk a little bit more.
Yeah, so if you could expand on that, because
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, because I know a lot of browsers have AI baked into it.
Almost
Some are
everything
better
else.
than others, but
Right. Yeah, there's lots of different companies vying for this. In fact, I'm going to show and link this really good documentary that just came out, and it's called AI Doc. And it's a little scary, but what's happening is AI is still making mistakes. It's not making the spelling mistakes that it did like a year ago, because last year I was using it a lot and I wasn't reading it, and it was like misspelling a lot of stuff. This year I'm not catching that as much. And so what AI is, when people try to explain it, it's just a tool for pattern recognition. So its best tool, its best gift to itself is it recognizes patterns. And it recognizes patterns so well that it teaches itself how to do deep math, deep, all kinds of stuff. I love AI because what used to take me, like say writing a grant, maybe weeks to do, I can get it done in the day. So that kind of stuff, using it to my advantage is really, really nice. As far as websites, it all depends on the person's device and stuff. So when you do this, just like in the beginning of doing websites, there was just a formula. Everyone, you had to do colors, right, that were visually, that could be seen by people. And that's been in the toolbox for a long time. Browsers are going to be reading this stuff, as they are kind of now. But what about the person who doesn't hear? So if it's not visually reading it, it's going to text it up.
right.
Right, so it's both. So I know I didn't completely answer your question, but maybe ask me again what it is.
It's, and again, I know with AI, I mean, if
Yeah.
you look at go back, like you said, last
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
the spelling on it
Yeah.
was not the best. If
Yeah.
you did graphics,
Yeah.
2 years ago, you'd have 6 fingers.
Right,
I mean, the thing about AI right now is that where we're at today is the worst it'll ever be.
correct.
It's not going anywhere. So the rapid use
here's-
of
yeah.
adoption, I think, and to your point with somebody, how do you make that ADA compliant given the whole array of disabilities there?
Yeah, I'm not sure AI is going to be the one that's going to be doing that at first, but it's going to definitely be part of the tool
Certainly.
that the coders are going to use. What I see as far as with AI, I see even when I go to librarians who are retired, but they have this little fun job, like Mississippi or whatever. And it's great, but she does not want to use AI.
Sure.
Now, I didn't want to use AI either. I was like, I hate this thing, I don't want to, and it was scary and I didn't want it invading in my life. Well, okay, flash forward 2 years and I just love it. I love it. And I use it a lot as a tool, but I still see the public not, they are using it a little bit, but discerning what they're learning and the false information that's out there, coming out in your browser. Especially when you go from Chrome to, Firefox or something, you're getting completely different answers. And
Because
again,
they're
you're
using different AA
ones.
models there,
And
yeah.
the big one I've been using a lot right now is through Canva. Not sure what their back one is, but I love that AI.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've used that one.
yeah. So, anyway, it's good discussion, but I did an AI class last year and a few people showed up, but this year I think it's gonna be more, because it's just.
There'll be
everywhere.
more adoption to it. I mean, it's here. It's not going anywhere. It's kind
No.
of like the internet. A lot of people were very skittish about it on the onset. They thought it was going to be the end of the world, end of jobs, but it created a whole new set, and
No, it's gonna make certain professions way better, but then it's gonna make others obsolete. So
Right.
where libraries come in, one, I can see AI being the teachers, but they're still gonna have to come in and get some discernment. Two, and especially when you begin reading, because and this is funny, because the elite from the very beginning always had private tutors. And it is a proven fact when you have a private tutor, your education is better. Well, AI is going to be that private tutor, and it's going to be more accessible to the common person. Right. But then I'm going to see 40% of the population over 30 who's like, I don't even know. I can't even download my chart. Right. So,
Over 30, how about over 70?
no, I'm seeing over 30.
there is a group, especially even with the over 40, over 50 crowd that have adopted to this pretty quickly.
Yeah, but you're going to
I
have,
think when you look at the population as a whole, though, there's going to be that group of people, and I would say anywhere between 30 and 40% that are, they're not really going to use it for anything good. I mean,
No. And
they're going to have Darth Vader against Sasquatch. I mean, it's just going to be ridiculous, just
well, they're
trash
not
to
going
put
to
out.
want to use it.
And they're not going to utilize it to the potential you're talking about, and that's
they're
where,
not, and that's okay.
yeah.
But then they're still going to have to navigate their daily lives, and this is where they come because
Right.
this is a place you can trust
Somebody
for
can kind of guide
information.
them, right.
Yeah. When little Jimmy isn't around, who's 9 years old and can get this thing off your phone to another phone, they'll come to the library because Jimmy's in school. Yeah. No, it's kind of where that is. Okay. John, do you want to speak to, we just went through our policy not too long ago, but review our building behavior policy, and you want to talk a little bit about the safe zones that are going on?
Okay, the village has got a committee going for a safe zone for children, which is gonna target this library. According to them, no registered sex offender can use the library. You gotta come get his stuff at the door. We've had one here that comes here several times a week and never causes a problem. You
He
know,
just comes and picks up copies.
picks his stuff up and leaves. And I think this is just my opinion. I've sat in several of these meetings now at the vigilante committee. In one article in the Argus, it said that it's all directed toward one person, and which is Arden Roberts.
Yep.
To me, I don't know exactly what Arden got charged with, but the other day I talked to a lady that had him for a neighbor for years and never had a problem with him. And in my opinion, I don't care what they adopt as an ordinance, this library board runs a library.
Have they ever talked to the Department of Corrections about their plans for this?
They've been searching all kinds of, whatever other neighborhood they're doing, like some cities are
Other
doing.
communities?
Now, my whole thing is that with this, as long as he behaves himself in this library, he should be able to come in here, check out books or whatever he needs done and leave. He's not causing a problem here.
Well, at Pine River, they had a situation where there was a registered sex offender living like right in the community. And what his probation officer, the guidelines that probation officer set up for him was that he could go to the library as long as there wasn't an event involving children. So like he couldn't come in during story hour, he couldn't come in during any kind of children's event. But other than that, he could come into the library to get his stuff.
Yeah.
And that was in coordination with the Department of Corrections.
And as far as I know, he is off probation, off parole. He is,
Well,
but he's a
then,
lifetime registered sex offender.
okay.
He is trying to get removed from that list, but it's pretty difficult to get you know.
Right, it is.
But he's been here for years using this library and causes no problem. And my opinion is we should consider doing it the way we're doing it right now.
Well, so that goes back to, and Maureen, you know this, and so do you, Sandy, we have our behavior policy. And basically, if somebody is disruptive, or you don't feel safe, or it's whatever, I have the ability to remove them. And I have removed them. I've had problems with teenage kids more than anything else. And I get, I have to say, look, you need to settle it down, watch the language. But what really is the most effective is I'm just in their space shelving, and they don't like an old lady in their space, so they leave. But then we've had a case where we've had to potentially ban Mike Cap, remember? He was kind of in the later part of his life, the dementia. He threw pizza down the toilet, he was stealing candy bars. He was a library board member, and so that was a very tricky situation that kind of resolved itself, thankfully. And then we had one situation where a person was doing inappropriate things. He was not on any kind of list, so it's the unknowns. And when it was determined what he was doing inappropriate things here in the back, and that's before we had the shelving. So our shelving is safer because we can see through now. We also have cameras because of that incident. He was going to other libraries, causing problems, doing the same thing. I resolved that and removed him. And then we had one where we had a year ago a teenager, because the library wasn't closed down properly, and somebody stayed in the library and he stole money, ate candy, drank some soda. We caught him, and he went through the Washura County process, paid restitution, but he's still banned, right? So we have a policy and procedure already in place for instances if a staff person does not feel safe or disruptive and stuff. So I think that kind of serves that purpose. Our policy isn't crazy. We adopted it from AMRO. AMRO adopted it from Oshkosh. Oshkosh is a bigger facility, so they have more things that they deal with. So our policy, I think, handles that situation that you're talking about that will come up and that meeting is tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So if the library is being part of that, I told him if it was at 6 o'clock, I would attend that and basically say what I'm saying to you now, that we have a policy and procedure in place to handle anybody who's doing disruptive
Are
behavior.
they forming an ordinance,
I
or
think
is the
They're
meeting
getting together and they're
tomorrow night?
and go over the ordinance again.
So they're in
The
the
village board has to adopt the ordinance to make it legal, and this is just a committee that is set up to go over it again and again until we get it right, but this,
So it's for all sex offenders, or are they specifically?
but how do we know who's who?
No,
See,
but are
that's-
they
yeah.
specifically pointing out this
Well,
person?
Well, if
They've
you,
been pinpointing him,
if you
Big
read
time.
the
You
articles.
can't do that.
but they
Let me
have,
read this, explain to you, there was an article in the Argus.
I must have missed it.
And it said in there that this was directed at one individual.
They can't do that.
No, I know that, but when you set in the, listen to this, swim through it, if this guy, and I ain't saying just him, if any sex offender is fishing down the Willow Creek and kids show up, he's gotta pack his stuff up and leave. If he's fishing up in the quarry some morning and a kid shows up, he's gotta leave.
Well, again,
Which-
how do you
Who's
know?
gonna enforce that?
Who's
Is
gonna
Kyle
know?
gonna
How
go up
do you
there in the
know
chorus?
somebody's
Come
a
on.
sex offender?
You're gonna enforce it?
No, he has a question.
Well, I can't enforce pretty much anything if I so wanted to, but
As a statement.
I try not to
Yeah.
go that route. No, I know the committee was formed due to public pressure.
Yeah.
If you have been, I don't know if you had the opportunity to go to one of those board meetings when they were
Yeah.
going over it. They got people really riled up. Now, I don't know what this guy did. I do know it happened a while ago. I know he's not on paper. I have brought up the question, if you're gonna put an ordinance like this into place, you have to be concerned about it being ex post facto. You can't issue more restrictions and punishment, anything punitive for a crime where time's already been served, parole, probation's already been taken care of. So they're trying to cross their T's, dot their I's, make sure everything's legal. I think to your point, does seem like it's a one-person thing, depending on who you're talking to. They'll come up with a story about how this gentleman was following or doing something. I think some of it is being provoked, personally. But to the overall point, if there's really no issue with him coming in, handling his business, moving along, and the policies that you already have take care of, because my concern for you personally is if you get, my son's 14 years old, he's 2 inches taller than me, about 3 inches wider shoulder to shoulder. If he acted bad, you wouldn't have a chance.
You probably wouldn't.
And
But I have to faith that we're
But we have a
Right.
police department.
I love that energy.
So
The response time,
Yeah.
some of these kids are very unruly, but
part of what we're trying to do, one, we're busier now,
Yeah.
so there's more people.
I'm gonna tell you
in
an
the building.
example of our police department. When the quarry was closed, there were some kids swimming up there. Our chief of police drove up on the point and hollered at the kids to come up here. They swam across, come get us. He drove around behind the post office, so what did they do? Swam back across. And he's yelling at them, and they're yelling at him, come get us.
Oh, excuse me.
So, I mean, do you think he's gonna get out and chase somebody? No.
Well, they have their
yeah.
cameras now, and so they can profile people, and they don't necessarily have to chase anyone anymore, so. But to answer yours, we are busier now than we have been, and people in the community know we're doing a lot more. So there's witnesses around,
Yeah.
plus we've got our cameras. Something happens, oh, that would suck. But, but we have more volunteers in here and people working around, so there's usually.
Which is very helpful,
Yeah, I don't feel unsafe
Because if
here.
you're just one person,
Yeah.
it's harder to deal
Oh,
with
it
somebody
is.
like that.
It
Yeah.
is. But again, with Arden, when I first started, we had a conversation right away, because I knew this was kind of the situation. And what happens is his roommate, I believe his sister, calls in the information. She calls in several times a week, and she's very nice. And I usually, she's visually impaired. So he comes during his walk to pick up things for her, typically. And it only takes a few minutes, a few seconds. So he knows that we are not big enough to have a separate children's area, so. Is there anything more on that? Okay. So when we go into donations a little bit more, I just want to talk, we touched on the $500. I got a 60% grant off Good Toys for the Dollhouse. Don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. Maureen, thank you. That garden looks fabulous. And she donated the, the mulch, or you give us a bill or whatever. That's
No, I
great.
donated it.
Thank you. Flanagan's have given us about $4,000 since December. They are very supportive of this library. I see them, they're friends. We need to do something about that, like put a plaque or a stone. I also got a reference question today, did not know how to answer it. How much to get a stone donated on the wall out there? Do we have a price for that?
We have stones that still need to be put
I
on the
know,
wall.
and I talked to
from
them about
years
that from
ago.
Jeff Clark, right?
Yes.
Who doesn't do it anymore, so let's get a new person. And I don't know, does anybody know any monument, would it be a monument place?
Stone
Stone?
person, somebody that works with stones, paving, anything he used to do.
Okay.
basically.
And
We still
what,
have those stones?
we do,
Okay.
they're in the windowsills.
Well, maybe he could give us a referral.
Well, he could, and I do see him occasionally. I know he had some health issues, some pretty bad ones, recently.
Well, he's at
so.
the lake. If you want, I can ask him.
Yeah. We can just move on, but how much does a person need to donate if they want to buy a stone?
I forget, wasn't there levels, or, I forget what
How
how
did
it
that go?
was.
So-
I can't remember.
I'd have to look back
Well,
on
we
that.
should probably reevaluate those numbers, because that was in the 90s.
That's
or-
way back.
Yeah.
It's been a few years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you got more people wanting to donate and have.
Put a stone. Well, it depends
I'm-
on what size of stone you're talking also, what size.
Or can it be something else? So if our long-term picture is to move from this building, I know we can move those stones and, if we have to. But, should we get something
Some
else?
places do like little stones for walkways.
That's what I'm thinking.
Like
Could we
it-
do that in the garden maybe, or in the back?
Well, in the like the garden walkway, like at the high ground up in
Yeah.
Neilsville, you can buy memorial stones.
So how
For
about I
veterans.
look that up and we do something like that?
Well, they have like over here at the corner by the pump,
Yes, I've
the
seen
REA
those.
does the bricks.
Well, it's called the rec department in Oshkosh because when they redid that little Oshkosh,
Mm-hmm.
that's several places bought those
Yeah.
stones in there, and maybe you can find out who they.
So as we go forward to try and make up our gap, maybe this is an avenue to pursue. So I have that on my list now. And then maybe you guys just tickle around, think about it. I'll send you a reminder next week. What dollar amounts, do you want to call it slate? Do you want to call it granite?
I don't think it's a
levels.
dollar amount. Where are you gonna get the stone and who's
Yeah.
gonna take
Yeah.
care
Well,
of it?
so,
You gotta find that out
That's,
first.
I'll have
that's the
to-
big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, once we
I'll just
find
have to
somebody to do the
contact her.
stone,
Yeah.
because
I
you know,
gotta
say
believe
if-
it's a
yeah, we
monument
would just
person.
need to know like if there's different sizes
Mhm.
and then what can fit on there.
I'm sure a monument place would do it.
That's what I'm,
But
Even
thinking-
bricks, that's what was used in Oshkosh, is somebody, they contracted somebody to do the actual bricks.
Yep.
Maybe even call 4Imprint and see if they would have some, really modern idea that could be easily transferred,
okay, well, here's a bigger question. Does anybody want to take this over for me?
why don't they bring in the stone?
Oh, bring your own stone.
Well,
Well,
then that could
let
be-
them check out what they want and how they wanna do it.
All right, so it looks like we have to get some options and pull that together, and I'll put that on the agenda for next meeting.
I think they should do the investigating, because we don't know what they want.
We'll give
We
them a
don't
couple
know what we're
options.
gonna
yeah.
Well,
with
so
it
if you
once
give
we
them
get it.
options, it kind of stays within your theme
Yeah.
or whatever.
You
the other-
know, kids do that.
Here's what I would love. I would love like how you have that dedication plaque out there. Maybe not that big of a rock, but another granite rock, which we could probably get for free, and then the plaque on it. Because then it could be moved to wherever we go in the future.
But how do you keep adding
No, you
names
just,
to
you got
the
that
plaque?
whole front and we could add rocks. I don't know.
I think we're getting carried away.
Well, let's
Yeah,
figure it out.
let's just-
All right, so
They should
that was a
investigate it and
question.
Come up with a stone.
All right, so we'll try and thin that out next meeting.
all right.
Okay. And then I want to just say that Margaret Marks, she's been doing the Civic Center gardening, and she has been mowing here, and she planted the planters and donated all of that. And then what we have in the back, she did the rocks. The rocks that are there were from the parking lot when we got that done, so it was dug out. So they came from here. And so what's planting in there is sunflowers, canis. Canis are starting to pop up, and then something else she told me, and I'm not a gardener, so I didn't know what that was.
Are the planters moved? I didn't check.
They're on the side of the building
I
right
know.
there.
And
Did they get any
they're-
sun there?
Yeah, they get a lot of sun,
Do they?
starting around 10 until the last part of the day. But what she planted was not stuff that needed a lot of sun. But the point that she made, and I liked it, and we kind of talked about it when we moved them, and the friends moved the planters there from back when we were supposed to get the shed. As people come around that corner, now it's not just so bland, it actually kind of pops, and it looks nice. Again, the library doesn't ask anything from the village for any upkeep. So none of the lawn, none of that, they do none of that, we do it. Yet, village hall. Anyway, that's the song. So, I think building report, outside sign is ordered. I thought it was gonna be 2 weeks out. He said today it's gonna be a little bit longer because of logistics and getting supplies with the shutdown of things. Anyway, so it's coming. I did confirm with Jean from Parks that the lighting, it is capped off, it is the same as down below, so it's lit with LEDs.
It's
Um,
gonna work.
yeah, it'll work. It works, and they're just waiting for us to say, hey, it's gonna be in, and then they're gonna put the bulbs in, so. So follow up on the computer inventory. I did put an order to replace, the broken computer I had and a laptop just replace that desktop with a laptop. So when we go to meetings like the Village of Lorville and we record, or I've been recording the different Friends meetings and our meetings, we have a laptop that can be used from the desk. So it's, the long run is we're not replacing as many computers. We're multi-using our computers. So, okay, so when I go into Walls, the next meeting, Claire Ellen or Carla Smith, I don't know if you know Carla Smith, but I know Carla Smith, I've worked with her for years. I used to work with her boss and now she's in her boss's position, but they're talking about the Walls contract. Basically what they're gonna talk about is, Jeannie, you need to go to our Walls meetings, which are on the 5th Tuesday of every month that happens, which is 3 times a year, and the annual meeting, and I did not go last Tuesday, so. Upcoming meetings, LAC, that's the meeting for the people that don't know. That's the meeting that all the librarians in Washura County, we rotate libraries and we meet and we talk about all of our stuff. We're gonna be talking about the Washura County contract. Coloma is May 10th. I had that meeting. That's where we voted on the contract that was submitted for Washura County on our reciprocal borrowing and stuff. Basically, that's where the 2% every year will come. And Ed will be hearing about that. All Walls meeting, I did not know. And then the programming, you know, all that stuff that's been happening. Our summer reading program starts Monday. The Walk the Wash has been going. That I'm all out of pamphlets for that. We have our Loot Locker program, and that is going over really, really successful. Labor Day, Friends, we're going to be doing the parade and Good Time Car Show. Cookie Walk is the 5th. That's always the first Saturday. That's a busy day for us. So. Library use and statistics. You can see from what I sent out, we're at 65% up, or 63, I'm sorry. May is already showing that we're going to be way up. So. Those are just books going out. That's not talking about people wetting the carpet when they come in the door. That's it for my report. I don't think we need to motion on the policy. I've just put the motion on there. If you go to 11, Linda.
Oh, 11?
Yeah. Because I think our policy is pretty solid.
All right, so we did Friends report, right?
Yeah. I guess I put that on twice, sorry.
We did next regular meeting.
Yeah. Does anybody want anything on the agenda? Sign.
Too soon to tell.
Yeah.
Sign, stones, open records.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully we'll know before.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right, then. You have to move to adjourn?
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Second,
Okay.
so moved, second,
Thank you
whatever.
guys, I appreciate everything.
Do you have any
A
questions?
little longer than last time,
I
sorry
did
about
not,
that.
just listening in. But what I do the first couple months is just honestly listening. I'll chime in here and there, but
Okay.
a lot of it is when you're going into something like this. I
It's a
never
lot
want to
of
give an
homework.
opinion one way or the other,
Right.
especially when I don't know everything. So I want to listen.
We
take
don't know
things-
everything either.
You know more than I do here.